A former White House speechwriter tells a sometimes unflattering insider account of the final days of George W. Bush's presidency in his new book that comes out today. Matt Latimer claims the former president called Mr. Obama clueless, among other things, during the campaign.
Speechless is the name of the book. Tales of a White House Survivor. Hits bookstores nationwide today. Matt is here to talk about it. Matt, you worked for Donald Rumsfeld.
I did.
And then you go to the White House for 2 years. How would you describe the president that you knew, the inside guy that maybe only a handful know?
Well, I liked President Bush, and I found him to be a funnier, smarter, quicker person than he's generally considered being. I enjoyed working with him in a lot of ways, and I felt honored to have the opportunity to do that.
There are a lot of juicy, trivial almost tidbits in here. For instance, tell me about how Chuck Schumer has an imaginary friend and, in fact, an imaginary family.
Well, one of the things I do in my book, it's not only about my time in the White House. It's a conservative, Reagan conservative from Michigan's journey to Capitol Hill, the Pentagon, the White House.
Right.
And on Capitol Hill, it was well known that Senator Schumer, and he said this publicly, has an imaginary family that he consults on for legislation and how to vote.
He talks to an imaginary family. How should I vote on this health care bill?
And I don't know what's more troubling, that he has to consult an imaginary family or he can't find a real voter who supports his position.
You were born a conservative. You were Alex P. Keaton, from Family Ties.
Right.
So as you get this job, you rocket yourself up, you find yourself in the White House. You were disappointed. You felt as though you could have punched up these speeches, and so could your colleagues. But there's something about the White House system that just broadens things out, homogenizes. What's up with that?
Exactly. I saw it with President Bush, and you also see it with President Obama. They're turning the White House into an infomercial, where basically you have to constantly go out and speak all the time. You're always on the air. You're speaking 3 or 4 times a day sometimes, and it diminishes the presidential voice.
Speaking of the president, before he was elected president, what was, or wound up in the White House, what was the former president, 43's assessment of Obama?
Well, as I talk about in my book, the president, after Obama gave a speech about the President Bush, he said, you know, this guy is clueless. He doesn't have any clue about what it takes to be president. And a lot of people share that sentiment.
Right. He's clueless.
You felt as though Dick Cheney was really your guy. If you would idolize one guy, what I got from reading your book is Dick Cheney was more of a true conservative in your mind.
Well, I'm a conservative, and I liked Dick Cheney. I thought he was, you know, I saw him in the last few years of the administration, and he was not the picture of the person he was characterized when I got there. But I did. I thought he was a good person.
And are you working on the Cheney memoir?
No.
I think I read that somewhere. What about the Hillary memoir? Because the former president had some colorful comments about Hillary Clinton.
He did.
That are widely quoted.
He did have some colorful comments. And, you know, I think a lot of presidents have used salty language before. We don't think less of Harry Truman because he's done that. And he had a very vivid description of Hillary Clinton in the book. He said at one point, you know, talking about the job, the difficulties of the presidency, he said, you know, wait till her fat keister gets into this chair and she'll see how she likes it. The word keister wasn't used.
There it is. And Matt, and finally, you know, with the president left, like Harry Truman, ratings were low. They're starting to come up already. Do you think the further we get away, the more positive the administration is going to look?
Well, it's too soon to tell. I mean, if you think about it, when Jimmy Carter left office, nobody thought he'd be looked today as a Nobel Peace Prize winner. But then I think, again, he's proving himself to be something of a controversial character. It takes time to decide what a president's going to look like in the future.
All right. Matt Latimer's new book is called Speechless. Matt, thank you very much for bringing your keister to our couch.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, straight ahead.